Happy Saturday, guys. Hey, did you ever wonder if you leave like 2 minutes earlier, 3 minutes later, 5 seconds earlier, 10 seconds later, that when you walk out that door, you could either missed some bullshit in your life that you'd have to deal with? Well, anyway, everything's okay. I just went to the gas station, paid for my gas, made niceties to the clerk. I'm in a good mood because I woke up this morning and I'm like, wow, I got nothing going on this weekend. I got the world by the ass. No gigs, no commitments. And all of a sudden I walk out of the gas station after paying for my gas. This guy's like pointing at my car. I'm like, yeah? He's like, you got a flat tire. So I go around the car and I look in the rear passenger side. Sure enough, my tire's flat. Not riding on the rim, but flat. Like, oh no. And I immediately look. I went like this. As soon as I saw my flat tire, I'm like, went like that to where their air compressor used to be. There's nothing there anymore. It's all bulrushes and cattails and a chalk outline of where the air compressor used to be. So now I had to drive up like 8 blocks to Speedway. And of course, I hit the stoplight. Of course, mentally hearing the air coming out of your tire. That light is not as long as the light on Highway 100 in Oklahoma. You could read a Stephen King novel before the light changes green. That one's really long. So that would have been stuck there if I had to go that way. So I'm at Speedway. Mind you, Speedway. They call all these places like Quick Trip, Speedway, BP, which I think means you better pay. Pay now. So I run in there noticing that their air compressor at Speedway takes change. So it's like $1.50. So I walk in there and I get behind this sweet old lady with dandelion hair. And mind you, I know I'm going to be there someday. I know somebody's going to be impatient behind me. And it's somebody's grandmother. But she's pulling power balls. I'll take $10 for gameplay. And you hear them tearing the card. Lottery tickets, And she's deciding as gets done ripping the last one. Then she says, and, it's like you think it's over, but it's not. It's like, it's almost like the deli. When you go to the deli, it's like, and I like American potato salad, too. How many? How much? 500 pounds of it? It's just one of those things. And meanwhile, I can mentally hear the air coming out of my tire. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to really be riding on the rim if I don't get air in it right away. So she has a stack of like Powerballs, lottery tickets. I don't know what they are. Game scratch-offs. I don't know. Sniff-offs. I don't know. So she's literally like this. This is the counter. She's like this. I'm behind her, and this is what I see. She's like, this is how she leaves the counter with all her scratch-offs and stuff. And this is how slow she walks. Sees me, backs up. I'm like, excuse me. And then she's like this. Meanwhile, there's air coming out of my tire. I'm like, oh, don't get mad, don't get. And the cashier's like looking over the dear old lady's shoulder at me, thinking that I'm gonna go postal. But I'm like, that's all I hear. Anyway, I get to change, put air in my tire. I'm like, it seems to be holding it. Maybe it's just the cap wasn't on a tire or the valve. There's something wrong with the valve. So I go grocery shopping. Took my time grocery shopping. That was okay. I don't know about all these construction cones. I don't know about you guys, but I think God just spilled his bowl of candy corn and it all landed on earth, because I don't know. I see a lot of construction cones, but no workers, and that's frustrating enough because it's a death trap. You're shy of, a Dukes of Hazzard episode 1, series 2, show, just driving on 108th and between 108th and National and Oklahoma. So I go to Pet World, and I'm like, there's this SUV in front of the doors. An SUV with the hatchback open, and some skinny young teenage girl with green and purple hair loading the back with Alpo, like 100 bags of Alpo. I'm like, she's got another cart filled that she's still got to load into the SUV. And I'm like, should I help her? Nah, I don't want to help her. I'm in a hurry. I got to go. So, mind you, see this little cricket? This is all I was going to buy. I bought 16 cents for this little cricket, okay? As I'm going around, there's no other windows or cashier windows open, just one. And I think it was the mother of the daughter that's loading the SUV buying more Alpo like she's feeding a kennel today. So I'm like, wow, that's a lot of dog food. How big is your dog? Is this like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something like that? And you got to feed your dog? I mean, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids and I got to blew up the dog and I got to feed. That's a lot of food. I'm glad. 16 cents, man. 16 cents. She must have been feeding a kennel. I don't know. Pet World. Feeding the world of pets, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. Life's got bigger problems, but I don't think I'm going to leave the house anymore. I'm afraid to leave the house. Maybe I'll take a walk around the block, but maybe they'll be breaking up the sidewalk. I don't know. Did you ever think like that, though? Like leave 2 minutes earlier, 3 seconds later, might make a difference in not running into all this bullshit of life? I mean, I got to go check my tire.